We're live. What's up, everybody? This is Temple of Hip Hop Podcast. We got Supastition on the bottom. We got Ignacio top right. We got Chuck bottom right. Supastition, thank you so much for being here, man. Why don't you just, for anybody on my channel who doesn't know anything about you, because I was one of those people till very recently. Okay. I delved in hard after I found out. But right. Why don't you give the people who are watching like a little synopsis of who you are, where you're from, what you're doing?
Okay, I am Supastition. I'm Supastition, originally from North Carolina, now residing in Atlanta. I've been dropping music since about 2002. I've been featured on songs alongside Stupa, Jedi Mind Tricks, RJD2, KRS-One, Little Brother.
Oh, shit.
I was on the Wake Up Show Anthem with Locksmith, Tech Nine, Razzcast.
Locksmith is dope, dude.
Yeah,
I like the political angle that Locksmith takes sometimes.
Oh yeah,
dude.
He's dope, and he doesn't lose the flow at all, you know.
No.
So yeah, so I've been around. I've been to what, 13 countries. I've traveled around and been doing my thing for a minute. So
And are you recording most of your own stuff, or are you dealing with a label?
Now I am. My first couple albums, I had my first album, 7 Years of Bad Luck. Then I dropped The Deadline and Chain Letters were all on labels. Soul Spasm, Chain Letters actually came out on Soul Spasm Raucous. And after that situation, I kind of walked away from it. I was like, look, it's one of those things like Fonte says, do you want to win or you want to look good losing? I'm like, hey, I'm at my peak of popularity, but I'm about to get evicted from my house. So it's like, right. What do I want to do? So I started pretty much putting out my own music, touring and things like that, and never look back, man. So I do have a deal, but it's for a side group that I'm doing. But other than that, I put out all my own stuff, man.
Right on, man. That's the way to do it.
Produce
so
it,
you're
record
probably
it,
like,
everything.
what, 37, 38 area?
Say what now?
You're probably 37, 38.
Shit, I wish I was in
you're okay. So we're
I'm in my 40s now, man.
Yeah, we're okay. So we're all in our 40s. Let's give a big shout out to guys in their 40s. Yeah. Still doing it. Fucking right.
I don't think I could have made old man strength in my 30s, man.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. It's true, man. Old man strength. Right, these kids in their 20s don't get it. Like, for example, doing yard work. Like I can fucking muscle through shit. Like when I was 20, I'd be like, I'm tired. Now I can just fucking old man strength, man. It comes to you. It comes to you with wisdom. The strength coincides with wisdom, because I think when you're younger, you're not fully accessing your full capacity for like productivity. And I think as you get older and wiser, you learn to use your brain in a more full manner.
Right.
And you're utilizing all your strengths, and you're like maximizing the precision of all your strengths, Yeah.
Well, I'm not quite there yet. I actually turned 40 in a month and a half. So.
Oh, really? You're not?
You're there.
Oh,
you're there.
You're there. Yeah,
you're there.
Dude. I'm there. I like to pretend I'm not, but yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. You're there.
So in South Carolina or North Carolina?
North Carolina originally. That's why I was born and raised. I'm north of Atlanta right now. So
nice. Okay, yeah, I've been to Atlanta. I've been to North Carolina. Beautiful countryside.
Okay,
so what were some of the, like, when did you first get introduced to hip hop, and like what was like the first group you listened to?
First group that I actually paid attention to was Run DMC. Now, and I always tell people this: I heard Grandmaster Flash, Melly Mel, and all those guys. It didn't reel me in because like my aunts and uncles had the records and they all dressed like disco singers. So it didn't attract me as a kid. So when I saw Run DMC, they dressed like my cousins, like the guys on the street. They made the shit look cool. I heard I think it was Rock Box, Sucker MCs and things like that. And then I also saw, Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick, and like I said, these guys just look cool. And I was like, they get the girls, I want the girls. Like, it's like they made it really look cool. And the dope thing about, like, back then, when you saw a rapper, and I hate to be like back in my day, but when you saw a rapper and you saw him rapping, you'll be like, I'll never be able to do that, but I want to figure out how. It's almost like you watching Eddie Van Halen or Joe Satriani on the guitar. It's like, I don't know if I'll ever be that good, but I'm going to try. So back then I used to see rappers. I'm like, I want to be Rakim. I want to be like that now.
Right, that's dope.
Now somebody sees, guy come out and they're like, oh shit, I could do this. I'm about to start working on my album now. Like, first song, right? The first song goes on that album. That shit is crazy. So.
And like Anno Domini, I saw on his Instagram page the other day, he's giving away like 3 gigs of beats for $30. So it's so with commercial rights. So it's like it's so easy to put out a record these days, you know. And back then it wasn't. But I was curious when you were talking there. I'm a writer. I'm a published poet. I got some poetry books out there in stores, and I'm wondering like that's where my writing began. Is like short poems, soliloquies, just random writings, limericks. I especially love a good limerick.
Yeah.
But like, what was the first style of writing that you did before you started writing like bars, structured verses?
I'm pretty sure it's the same thing I started learning in school, man. Back then I used to think it was the dumbest thing ever. Like, why am I writing a haiku? You know what I mean? Like, you're trying to explain it to a kid or writing poems and things like that. But then you start to read about like legendary poets. And then you start getting into the good shit, and it's like, oh, okay, this is
now
different. This isn't Dr. Seuss, you know, because that's the first poetry that we're really introduced to first,
Right.
You know. But when you actually get a dose of some real poetry and some rhythm, you're like, okay, all right, we can do this. So
So what about instruments? You play any instruments?
Just making beats, man.
Beats?
I started making beats way back, like in '99. I had a producer that I was working with. And I got my first single deal, and it was like, "Hey, we're gonna pay you $2,000." I'm like, "All right." Now back then, I'm like, "Hell yeah!" So
no kidding.
I go and tell the producer, and it's like a single deal, 2 songs. He's like, "I want $1,000 a beat," and I'm like, "Shit, that leaves me with nothing." So
Christ,
I went and bought my own setup, and I've been working ever since then, or whatever. So, but I don't technically play any instruments or whatever, but I can fuck around on the keyboard and shit like that.
Yeah, that's perfect. So
did
you make all the beats? Did you make all the beats on the CP?
Yeah, okay. I made every single one of them, man. Yep.
Wow.
See, that's the fucking best, man.
Yeah, every single one, man.
That's the fucking best.
Hats off to you, man. That's dope.
Yeah, thanks, man. Over the last few years, I just been trying to work at getting better at producing. One of my biggest fears is being the dope rapper with the trash beats. It's always like
that's me, dude. That's me my whole life. That's me, 100%. I make the shittiest beats in the world.
Right.
I can spit some bars though, but you know.
Yeah.
But
it's like you don't want to have to carry the beat. You know what I mean? Like you want some dope shit, and you know certain type of rappers and lyricists need certain type of production.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, I remember from your last your last album, Sacrifice, and you had the. Solitaire, that track Solitaire, where it seemed like you were, kind of just say, sometimes it's better just to do it yourself when, other people are unreliable.
It is, man. The way I see it, producing and writing and recording and mixing an album, and I think Sacrifice did the artwork too. It's the hardest, but it's also the easiest.
Right.
It's the hardest because you have to do all the work. It's the easiest because nobody is holding me up except for me. Right. Yeah. These are the most stress-free albums that I can record.
Right.
I've got a project that I've been doing with a group, Speaker Bullies. It has taken us 6 years to finish that album. So
is everybody all over the place?
It's technically just me and a producer, Praise, or whatever. Like we started working on it, then we got a deal for it. And then it's just so much. We have different lives. We work different schedules and things like that. I work a lot faster than he does. He's kind of perfectionist. I'm not Dr. Dre, let's put this shit out type of guy.
Right. That's how I am too. Just power in numbers, man. You put out 10, one of them's got to be good.
Exactly, man. And that's the thing. If you don't put out any music, you become very overcritical because you're overthinking it, man.
Yeah,
it's all about the percentage, man. Like be a volume shooter. It's like that's what Griselda and these guys are doing. Like they're just throwing albums out. It's like, look, if 80% of that shit can be good or 90%, then you're doing all right, man.
It kind of reminds me that strategy kind of reminds me of like the strategy you used to see with mixtapes back in the day when everybody would just mix all summer long. Yeah. Everybody had like 5 or 6 mixtapes that came out,
right?
During the summertime, and then they dropped a full project.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think Griselda, like with them, I think they kind of outsmarted the industry because back in the day you couldn't, like, you can drop an album, but a label would tell you don't drop another album for 6 months or 9 months. Like, there's no way you can drop an album every 3 months before.
Right.
because they would feel like, well, you're cutting off, the lifespan of the projects. But, Griselda figured it out. Look, all of these projects can promote each other. Like, it doesn't have to be one. I mean, you could literally put their music on shuffle on Spotify, and it would almost sound like it came from the same album. And that's not a knock to them.
Because it was made so close together, right?
Exactly.
They're making an album, and then they're in the exact same mindset to write another album.
Right.
Something a little changes, they make another album. Something big changes, it totally changes.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's like this process of, as a musician, like, I got a lot of solo albums, more punk rock and roll, but that's how I did it my whole life. That's how my band did it growing up. That's how my band does it now. We just write a song, we learn how to play it properly, and then we write another one.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the next practice, right now we got 5 songs. We practice the 5, then we'll start writing a new one. We write that new one, we'll practice the 6, then we'll start writing a new one, right? And that's just kind of how it goes. Yeah. And I think we're on the same page for how we deliver our art to the world, which is really.
And you get better with the practice too. Like, every song I write and every rhyme I write doesn't get released. Probably more than half of it doesn't get released.
Right.
It's just, especially when you care about just the art. And just being great at what you do and being skillful. If I just wanted to put some shit out, then, anybody could just put some stuff out or whatever. But, I feel like your name's on the line, your reputation's on the line and things like that too. And once you get some eyes on you, trust me, you won't be able to just drop songs like that. So especially in those reviews.
Especially for somebody like who does the production, who does the project from top to bottom.
Right.
Your heart's in that. Your whole, your whole being's in that project. Your whole being's
it's the most important thing in your life at that moment.
Yeah. When you get, especially back when you used to get a lot of critical reviews, you'd be like, I'm about to dedicate this entire album to my mom. I love my mom, and somebody can come in and be like, this album fucking sucks. But this is about my mom. You rated it 2 out of 5. Like, I'm the best son ever.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
so it's hilarious. Like you can put your emotions into it, but you also got to kind of see it for what it is. It is a music industry, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, why don't you, let's get into it. Why don't you walk us into this first track? Like, what were you doing? What was going on in life when you started to write this EP?
All right. So for this one, for people that don't know the story behind the EP, the last few years have just kind of been turbulence. I went through, basically like a high point, financially, which, I'm still doing well and stuff like that because I work outside the music industry. But I ended up, when the pandemic hit, I ended up catching COVID, but long COVID. So it took like 7 months.
Jesus.
Like I couldn't breathe. I didn't know if I could ever rap again. So I spent a lot of days just in bed, feeling like an old man, couldn't walk a flight of steps, couldn't exercise, couldn't do things like that. So all I did was just write, and also make beats. I mean, I had trouble singing along the songs in the car and things like that. So this EP, that really set things off. And then I lost some friends that are really close to me. And I know throughout the pandemic, I mean, we all lost people, but I lost a lot of people. I lost a lot of people that were near and dear to me. I told somebody recently, this EP is bittersweet to me because I had about 3 or 4 people that whenever I released a project, I'd send it to them. Or whenever I release something, they'd be the first people to hit me up. And like all four of those people are gone. So it's like, it all affects us in different ways. So when I came into and not to even be somber about it, but that's the mood that I was in when I created this one or whatever. So like the first track, Cold Blood, was basically saying, look, sometimes I got to be cold hearted because I felt like I went through a lot of this shit by myself. Or, the people that were there for me are no longer here for me. So it's like, what the fuck do I do now? You know what I mean? So.
Okay. Wow.
Damn.
Well, you guys want to fucking bang this EP out or what?
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it. This is Cold Blood, Supastition, from the album, from the EP. Every last word. Let's do it.
Yep.
Get it.
I once was a loving and caring person who would break his neck to help any and everyone. I thought that was the quality of being a good person. Unfortunately, in my darkest hours and weakest moments, some of those same people were not around for me. And the ones who were there for me are no longer on this earth, which left me feeling angry and cold.
At any given minute, feeling like I'm finna implode. I have this tendency to be my worst enemy, bro. My anxiety's to the ceiling, but my energy's low. I'm so tired of what I'm dealing with, it's killing my soul. It justifies why I seem pissed. I'm on the ledge, hanging by a thread like a seamstress. My life seems meaningless. Got dubious family members, ain't much love within them. If blood's thicker than water, well, money's a blood thinner. What's with them? Would it be surprising that's the cat that murdered me? As much as they change face, and this could be plastic surgery. Cause they don't speak a word to me purposely, like it's hurting me. Cut some people off, now they want to give you the third degree. I'm unbothered to the day your family sings Amazing Grace. If I don't fuck with niggas, it don't come with expiration dates. The more that I ignore they exist, boy, they get pissed. Entertaining bullshit just ain't on my priority list. That's the way it goes, bro.
Damn, dude. That sets up everything perfectly. Exactly what you introed, too.
Yeah, man. Sometimes I was going for it.
But that's the way it goes, bro.
That was such a big, so many roads to go down now.
Like a cobra, we don't share no love. When you refuse to let them use you, sometimes it's better off to lose you. They said I'm cold-blooded. You can't manipulate my feelings, not for nobody. That's just my coping mechanism, how I go about it. Try to be a thorough brother through and through. The truth is only if you gonna be at my funeral, I promise. While you alive, they tell you how strong your bond is. You die tomorrow, brothers won't send flowers to your mama. I lost one of my best friends, I'm left with people I ain't fond of. These immature motherfuckers with questionable conduct. Long ago I made my mind up if I wind up in the casket. The folks who have to carry it don't care about no classics. No music, no rapping. 7-month recovery from COVID made me colder, had me down on my last leg. My ass begging God every day I stayed prayed up. My homie wished me well, then died from it a month later, man, straight up. When fools ask for favors, I'm like, say what? Where the fuck was you when I was down bad and laid up? That's cold-blooded. For some of you, my heart pumps cold blood. Just like a cobra, we don't share no love. When you refuse to let them use you, sometimes it's better off to lose you. But that's the way it goes, bruh. For some of you, my heart pumps cold blood. Just like a cobra, we don't share no love. When you refuse to let them use you, sometimes it's better off to lose you. But that's the way it goes, bruh.
That's one of my favorite songs off EP, man.
Oh, dude. I usually put my favorite song first, too. I'm like, attention spans are low in the world, man. Let's put a banger right at the start.
Right. I wanted to put it at the middle of the EP, but I'm like, damn, this kind of starts it off angry. But I was like, you know what?
With that, did you write that intro after you wrote the song? I'm assuming.
Which one?
The narration.
Oh yeah. That's actually me on the narration too. Like,
yeah, no, I figured it was. I figured it was.
Yeah.
So that came after the song. So you decided to put that in first and then wrote the narration?
Yeah, I had a vocal sample that I was using for it, but it came from like a popular motivational speaker. And I was like, I don't want to run the risk of this shit. I tried to pitch it down. It still sounded like him. So I was like, you know what? I once was a loving and caring person. That's the cool part about being able to do voices and shit. I do a lot of different fucking voices.
Yeah, that's what Ignacio was doing right before the show too.
Oh, for real?
That's awesome.
Yeah, you know, it's funny actually. When I was, I don't remember what it was another stream I had sent this in on, and they're sitting there like, you know, where's that sample from? Like, where's that from? I was like, I don't know. It's
yeah, I'll have friends like that'll hit me up to doing different things like birthday drops and all type of like, yo, man, can you do a voice like this? And I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that shit, man.
That's great.
Yeah, that's perfect, man. Well, a fantastic intro, kind of sets the space.
Thank you.
This is what's going on in your life. It's like a birth. It's like a beginning almost, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's like the chicken coming out of the egg. You know, this is it. Here's the world. This is the world I'm in. Let's see what I'm gonna fucking do with it.
Favorite line is heart pumps cold like a cobra.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Pumps cold like a cobra.
Most people like you know, blood's thicker than water. Well, money's a blood thinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Don't get me wrong. That's a bar. That's a bar. You know, that's a bar. That's a bar. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Something about that Cobra line hit me like, man. Okay.
Sometimes you got to be cold-blooded, man. So.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I've learned that the hard way too.
Yeah.
And that's part of becoming wise, dude. That's part of growing old is you realize some people are gonna fuck you.
Right.
But I mean, you know, the way it's kind of rounds out at the end, you know, like when you come around asking for favors, and you know, where the fuck were you when I was down and laid up? You know, I mean, when you are, you know, when you're in the gutter, like that's when you find where your friends are. You know,
no kidding.
And the crazy thing is, like, because like when you're going through something, you got people that call and check on you, but you got people that they're calling and check on you to monitor to see when you get better, so they can ask for some shit. Like, I wouldn't want to be that guy to ask him to do this when he's fucking feels like he's damn near dying. But as soon as he gets better, like, hey man, you got enough breath to do these 16 bars for me?
Yeah. Now you're better.
The fucking asthma pump, like,
right.
I'm like Darth Vader. I got you.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Oh, dude, that's hilarious. Oh man! All right, let's get into the second one, guys. Next one on the list. Every last word, Superstition. This is Old Man Strength. This is actually on this channel.
First song of the night.
First song I heard. Yeah, song of the night.
We're not gonna sit.
This track's so fire.
It's on the playlist.
I love it.
We're prepared to stand up and take it. We're not asking for anything. We're not asking for any favors. All we want is what's ours.
I'm just shaking the rust off. Watch this rusty razor upgrade to a buzzsaw. I'm the true definition of what's real and what's raw. We bring something new to the table, labels just take it away like busboys. I swear to God, nothing is safe. I'm from an era where random people got punched in their face. Not to be famous, sucker shit, or I see hundreds a day. Like hydroplaning, maybe you should try pumping your brakes. Some rap niggas records started sounding helicopter. Some fools sound like they reading Griselda's teleprompter. Now that should tell you something. 20 years strong, super monster. Regardless who I do a song with, I'm improving like Luka Doncic. You like it, just watch me. I got a right to be cocky. I'm a titan, stomping in all white Nike Huaraches. Ain't no capping, I just tapped into levels of elite rapping. These fools say I'm gas, give me fire, see what happens. Yo, my first one light a hook with scratches up like it's a book of matches. Grew up on that gangstar, but never had a Brooklyn address. Too many legends seeking, reaching for relevant shit. Now everybody in the streets and they selling bricks, but when beef started, niggas turned Ezekiel Elliott. Running full speed to the police precinct to settle it. Ain't no need for embellishment, I see through y'all fools. For real, we would never build like Dr. Umar's school. On the block, posted like an OG.
Shout out to DJ Robert Smith on the cuts, man. That's my guy.
Every rhyme spitter, I'll be old and great. Like me on the mic. Nah, I don't fuck around.
My name Trouble, I'm a blessing of rap.
I see a lot of pocket watchers stopping, counting money dudes make, but I've been married to the game. We passed the honeymoon phase. I've been bashed, I've been praised, that's the illest known. Some days I'm MJ on his deathbed, feeling like the thrill is gone. That's facts on facts, I need that bounce. I'm trying to stack racks on racks, I'm talking hardware rap mounts. Cats know I spit the purest raps. Y'all wanna be young thugs, smallpox, but super got a cure for that. Got a brand new delivery that can't be stopped. Until the day that Lady Liberty got banned 2 knocks. I stay barred up like Alcatraz. I'm far better, I can last. Different creed than car weathers. Blame it on my rocky past. On point like a Stockton pass in 93. People know I put the sleeper hold on any beat. Won't give it time to breathe. An eye for an eye, cause it's a do or die world. Get love from pro-life sisters down to suicide girls. Cause I'm perfect. Every venue in the city gon' ban me. Cause I short circuit like the Mexico City Grand Prix. Understand me, I'm king, living in the lap of luxury. I cook on the machine, basically fuck your production fee. I'm sharp mentally, this energy you haven't heard hardly.
I'll do it
Sounds
myself.
like a quantum leap to Cool Herc's first party. Southern to the car, hope you know that, pimp. Don't make a brother have to choke you up with old man strength. Talk to him.
I'll be old and great.
On the block posted like an OG.
Scratches are sick.
Every rhyme spitter, I'll be old and great.
Look like a German DMC champion, man. Crazy.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't fuck around.
My name Trouble, I'm a blessing of rap.
I wrote this song.
With the record player, do you just go like patch from the record player to your interface? You can just go straight into your computer?
For which one? For the scratches?
For a record player, yeah, like for scratching, like for recording it.
Yeah, I think that's how. Yeah, I think that's how you do it. Yeah. I wrote this song like right after I watched Old Man Logan. Well, Logan, because that's one of my favorite movies and shit. So I was like,
Logan.
yeah.
Logan, is that the Wolverine?
Yeah,
when
yeah,
when he's old, the old man Wolverine.
It's one of my favorite comic books too, man.
I think I've only I never read the comic book, but I think I've seen the movie once and it was badass. I got to watch that again. Thank you for reminding me. Did you know where we can stream that? And that reminds me of streaming.
It's on Hulu, I think.
Hulu.
Okay, you're right.
But forget about that for a second. I wanted to because I forgot about something that I was supposed to do. Okay. Why don't you take a minute between this song and say where people can buy this, where they can support you, what websites you have, what social media you have. Just give us the rundown.
Plug your stuff, man.
Okay, for sure. Well, the hub is Supastition.com. That's Supastition.com. You can find everything there. There's also Superstition.bandcamp.com.
Oh, Bandcamp's the best.
Oh, dude, I love Bandcamp, man. Nothing like a Bandcamp cha-ching in the morning, man. I'm telling you.
No kidding.
That shit might be better than head. I don't.
Yeah, it is, man. It's a thrill.
Wake up somebody bought your whole discography. You're like, oh, sorry, baby, you gotta wait.
Sorry, dude. Take a break. I got to enjoy this for a minute.
Right. So, but yeah, it's out there, man. Like on all the streaming platforms as well too. I own 100% of my catalog, so I always tell people if you support, you don't have to worry about where it goes. It's going directly to my kid's stomach.
There you go.
No doubt.
In the pantry, in the groceries. So.
Oh, you got kids too. So we are all dads. All of us are dads. Here we are, a bunch of 40-year-olds dads listening to fucking hip hop together. That's the fucking best.
We're much fucking cooler than we thought we'd be at 40.
No doubt, dude. No doubt. Even like I got a 13 and 15-year-old that work for me. They're dishwashers at my food truck. And I think they think I'm cool. I think they dig me. I think they're all right with me. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So, cool.
My daughter, she's 19 now.
Oh shit.
And it's crazy because like I don't know about you, but my kids don't respect anything I do musically, right?
Wow.
I tell my daughter like I'm working on an album. She's like, Dad, all you do is work and make smoothies. What are you gonna rap about? I'm just like,
what are you gonna rap about?
What are you gonna rap about?
Wow.
Don't you worry about that.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Right. Like, how do we
what
get
kind of music does she listen to? What's she into?
A lot of K-pop and shit. So she's
K-pop.
She's mixed. My wife, her mom is from Laos, so she listens to some black music. She listens to some K-pop, but a lot of music I don't know about. I mean,
right.
She, she listens to like Eminem, which is no knock, but like. You know, she's the type like Eminem's the best rapper. I'm like, you can't name 10 people that rap.
Yeah, I know. And don't even get me started on Eminem, man. Don't even get me started.
That's a hot
long history
topic right there.
Yeah, that's like you can go to my videos that got deleted. I got them all on Rumble still. Luckily, I transferred my whole catalog over to Rumble before it got deleted. And there's an ongoing presence of people trying to get me to like Eminem. I'm just like, yeah, he's a good rapper. I don't really like it. That's fine, right? Can I say that?
Well, his fans will light your mentions up, man.
I know, dude. I know.
What they always say,
you like what you like,
When you piss somebody off, like they say, you got two options: you either log out or you just tweet through it. So
exactly, right. And you know what? Well, I kind of like the first rapper that I really got into was Cannabis. Like I'm a big Cannabis fan.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that kind of transformed how I view hip hop because now I wanted bar heavy music the whole time, all the time. No like bar tunes with like crazy gangster choruses. That just doesn't do it for me, Like I like a 64 bar fucking verse that's heavy.
Right, yeah.
Like that's
Cannabis definitely has that too. Man.
Exactly, right? And that's kind of like I'm kind of biased. Like Eminem has bars, but he was I like the underground. I like the underdog. Like I appreciate that. I root for those guys. And Eminem, I don't need to be a fan. He doesn't need me to be a fan.
Yeah. When Cannabis came out, he was light years better than everyone. I mean, by a huge gap. I mean, people can say what they want about his albums, but as far as lyrics, when he was lighting up mixtapes and dropping like his earlier joints, nobody was touching him. I almost felt like they didn't want Cannabis to make it because what you do,
dude, you fucking get it. The most
popular rapper. What would you do? There'd be like 10 rappers out now because only like 10 people could even hang on a track with him.
Exactly, right? And that's exactly it. I like I've had a track with Cannabis. Luckily, do you remember Spit Boss?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dude, well, I right when I started making hip hop, my buddy Dr. Reptilian. I wish he was here. Fuck, he would have loved this. But he was like my guy. He got me into hip hop. He's like, you're gonna rap. I was rapping at parties and stuff. He's like, you're gonna take this seriously. Right. And we made a mixtape, and the Spitboss.com got invented, and he's a cannabis head. Okay. You know, like what much more like respect to the Sifu. He's also a kung fu master. But he was the cannabis guy, and Cannabis started Spitboss. He's like, you got to audition for this website. You drop 3 songs, they listen to them, they decide whether you're gonna get in or not. So I fucking put 3 tracks in, and I got in. I'm like, holy shit. Well, now I'm working with all these wicked MCs like K Reno. You know, how would I get 5? How would I get 5 tracks with K Reno? Like, how on earth did I get 5 tracks? Like, what the fuck?
Nasty, man. He's dope, man.
Oh, he's so good, man. Dude. He's so fucking good. I'll send you on Instagram. I'll send you the tracks I got with K Reno.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
But you know, but that aside, dude, I feel like if we would have been growing up together, we would have been buddies. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely, most definitely.
And that's you remind me.
There wasn't many of us like that. You know,
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
no kidding.
We're music nerds and shit.
That's right, music geeks. Exactly.
Yep, exactly.
Make It Home. Let's get into Make It Home.
Is
it so this is 2 minutes and 40 songs. Is this just like a big verse?
Yeah, it's pretty much. Well, no, it's got 2 verses in it.
Okay.
You know, first part of it, I break down. You know, I used to have road rage. You know, I'm recovering. So
yeah,
I talk about kind of it's a fictional story somewhat. And it, you know,
fictional,
based on a real character,
allegedly.
So I live in Atlanta, one of the worst places to drive. So it came to me while I was driving, and then the second part I kind of speak on. Well, I thought it was road rage, but it actually something a little bit deeper than that and shit. So
yeah, right on. Okay. Road rage, signifying a change in behavior. I love it.
7 a.m. in the morning, I'm on I-85, North Atlanta. People finding every kind of way to drive, like they borderline blind over pouring fine wine. I swear I'd have hit the brakes around 49 times. Man, this traffic is serious. But here is this brother in a Civic driving like he in the Fast and the Furious. He honking his horn, throwing his hands up. Man, what? We bumping the bumper, we all jammed up. The fan flipped his finger up, screaming out the window, you a bitch. In my head, I'm thinking all the things I can do to his whip. I got road rage, but my son is in the car. Do some dumb shit, then I'm behind bars at my old age. No way. I mean, it's stinging my pride, but it's a beautiful thing to be alive. Had to learn to let it go and be wise. I'm offended, but hey, we just trying to make it home at the end of the day. I'm just trying to make it home. I'm just trying to make it home. I just want to make it home to you. I'm just trying to make it home. I just want to make it home. I'm just trying to make it home to you. I'm just trying to make it home. I'm just trying to make it home. I just want to make it home to you. I'm just trying to make it home. I just want to make it home. I'm just trying to make it home to you. Hold up, I'm talking about somebody else. Let me talk about myself for a second. I always had a short fuse and bad attitude out of pocket. As an angry black man, I never knew how to stop it. Just a ticking time bomb, a loose cannon, a hot head. It's a miracle this dude standing and I'm not dead. Old school mentality was thing later swing first. But in reality, I was only making things worse. Thinking violent was gonna have me riding in a clean hearse. Had to pray about it, had to listen to my queen's words. She said you gotta walk away and cool down. Cause we got way too much to lose now. I admit I had anger issues I needed help with, harboring childhood feelings I never dealt with. Then it spills over to your marriage and your workplace. Now I understand that it was coming from a hurt place. Still that's no excuse for the sins of a man. Now I'm trying to do better by my friends and my fam. That's real. I'm just trying to do better. I'm just trying to do better. I just wanna do better by you. I'm just trying to do better. I just wanna do better. I'm just trying to do better by you. I'm just trying to do better. I'm just trying to do better. I just want to do better by you. I'm just trying to do better. I just want to do better. I'm just trying to do better by you. Understand that I'm an artist. Part of that means I second guess everything. On any given Sunday, my confidence is somewhere between. Feeling like I'm one of the best that ever did it. To say you fuck everything I'm selling on my equipment, this is self-doubt. A bottomless pit that you pour yourself out. Time and time again, ain't nobody around to help out. Just a man in his 40s, only few standing to applaud me. But talent's undeniable, so they just can't ignore me.
That's real shit. Dude. Being an artist, one day you like, man, these motherfuckers better stop sleeping. The next day, you're like, man, I'm selling all this. I'm done.
was this maybe a situation where that you're reflecting on where your wife or your mother, your baby mama. I'm not sure if you guys are married still, but was she pregnant when that was happening? Make it home
During
like,
which one? The Make It Home joint?
Yeah, the Make It Home joint. Like,
Oh no.
I'm saying, were you reflecting like you got to make it home to her? You're in road rage. I'm just picturing it kind of like you're in the road. You want to get home. You're getting there. Like you got road rage. Like what the fuck is going on? Then you realize what you're going home to.
Yeah. Then I realized, one thing is like, dude, is it really worth it? Like you're driving. You know what I'm saying? So what? Somebody flips you off or does something crazy. It's like, at the end of the day, it's much more important for you to get home. You've got a much better life there. You know what I'm saying?
No kidding.
People, road rage is cousins of the internet. Like, because the internet's like the best bulletproof vest ever invented. So it's like you can do and say anything when you get behind the wheel of a car. You get on the internet, you can be the toughest motherfucker. Like,
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I know. I have a 6-month-old right now, so I know. You mean,
man. Everything changes, right? As soon as they're born, you look at everything different.
Yeah, I have a couple of older kids too, but at the same time, like, I drive carefully, you know what I mean? Right. But the other people you're looking like he's dumbass. Like, why are you driving 90 in the neighborhood? Like, chill, bro. Like, chill.
This is kind of like the epiphany. This is kind of the epiphany of the album, where it's like.
Well, I mean, at the same time, when you got them with you, if you lose it at them, then they remember that, and they either do it themselves or they remind you of it every time you tell them not to do that.
They don't forget none of that shit.
Yeah. They forget all the stuff you tell them to do, but they remember everything that you did.
Yeah,
that you told them not to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You remember you put that man in the headlock?
Yeah. No, I don't remember. Yeah. It was on this time on this day.
Right. Exactly.
And I see you guys got a head start on me. I have one child, and it was late. He was 35. I was 35 when he was born. Okay. And he's almost 6. Okay. So so I'm right about to go through all the adolescence.
Wait till the teenage years, man.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly.
Yeah, mine's 7. So
yours is 7.
He still thinks I'm the coolest person he knows. So that won't last much longer.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think.
Me too, dude. Me too. Yeah.
Teach you patience for real, man.
Well, it's going well, fellas. I didn't realize. I heard a couple songs, but I didn't realize it was going to be such like a transparent, honest consciousness.
Oh yeah,
transparency, like transparent. It's like this isn't glamour,
Right.
This is not commercial. This is my story. These are real fucking. They're emotional bars. It's deep.
And one of the reasons why I made a record like this too is because, when people are going through things, right? It's like when we're in a good mood and we just want to rock, we throw on hip hop. But when we're going through like some fucking depression, anxiety, or grief, a lot of people don't throw on hip hop. They go listen to other genres of music. Listen to rock. Soul or whatever, just to kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know a lot of hip hop records that I can listen to, and I'm just like, all right, yeah, that motherfucker's going through some shit. I can really relate. So a lot of the music that I've been doing, is kind of in that vein. It's like one of them things too, is like, I had to tell myself, look, they get it. You can rap. Like, I could do 100 old man strips, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, what are you saying? Because I listen to a lot of rappers that are technically great, but at the end of the day, sometimes I just don't feel it.
Do you know them? Yeah. Like, do you really know who they are through the bars?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys you were just talking on last week, on a lot of the Aussie hip hop, is like real mental heavy, and a lot of the Aussie hip hop, really tackles a lot of the kind of mental struggles that they're going through.
Right. Totally, dude. Yeah, and dude, dope. I've worked with some of the fucking best MCs from Australia, dude. Damo is a savage.
Yeah, I came up. My earlier albums were produced by M Phases from Australia, so I was actually one of the first people that
wicked hip hop scene out there.
Yeah, man, and I've been out there actually. I've done shows in Canberra, Sydney, and Melbourne, man.
No shit, you hit all the big ones.
It was amazing, man. It was actually the tour was sponsored by Stussy and Paul Frank. So which was crazy. Yeah.
I used to wear Stussy as a kid.
Okay.
Stussy was
man.
Stussy was everything.
07. And we went to like warehouse and they came in and they were like, you guys could take whatever. So we go in, we load up boxes and boxes and boxes. Then we go to try to ship it and they're like, yeah, it'll be like $600.
Holy shit.
So I was like, this is what we're going to do, right? We go to the store, we'll buy luggage, put it all in the luggage and just pay the extra overage. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll pay $100 for an extra bag before I pay $600. Right. And it'll be there 2 months after I get home. So it's sweet, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Right on. Let's get into head above water. So this is a confidence booster. You're not underwater anymore.
Yeah.
Your head's out. Your head's out. You're breathing air.
See, you get it, man. It's showing that what I went through. Like Make It Home was kind of
you're cool. You got it.
Awakening.
You had this epiphany. You're like, I got this. Why the fuck am I so mad?
Right.
Like, let's slow it down. You're under this long COVID punishment. You're just like stressed and depressed and killing yourself over everything because you're not functioning fully like you can. And now now
it's like
head above water.
Exactly. Here comes the optimism, and it's like, hey man, get out of your own way. Get out of your own head and get out of your own way, which is kind of our worst enemy.
It just speaks to my thoughts on this even the songs that we heard last time, and then filling in now with other songs that we haven't gotten to. It's just grown man music. It's grown folks music.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's grown
Yeah.
man.
Well, that was we had a couple months ago. We were talking to Collective Efforts. And
that's my homies, man. They're my homies.
Yeah. Super cool dudes.
Yeah.
They came on the show.
For real? Yeah, those are the homies, man.
Yeah.
Dude, we listened to it around for like 3.5 hours.
Shout
out to Ben Hameen, man.
And
J Mill and Bamboo.
Yeah, J Mill.
But just was J Mill was saying that that they're making grown folk music that because I think you said one of you had said that you want you and your mom to listen to it, and you guys are like, no, this is grown folk music. It's not for kids.
My mom kind of likes my music now.
My mom used to say I curse too much, man. But back then, they Run DMC curse too much. I'm like,
exactly.
I heard NWA.
You haven't listened to that yet, mom. You haven't heard these guys, mom. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right on. All right, well, let's get into head above water.
Let's do it.
Seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, that sound good. Listen. I don't know how many more of these I have left in me. But for the time being, let's make some beautiful music. It's hard to feel inspired. Family members and friends dying. Hence why I'm not productive, reluctant to pen fire. Rent's higher than it's ever been. Boy, it's been a war within for some veterans, desperately trying to get a win. They say music's medicine. I think it's more of an addiction. You get a dose of attention and chase the hit again. My career will never be the same as it was. My name will never surpass that chain letters buzz. Cause I came to a realization using simple logic. Like, would you rather be more popular with empty pockets, or financially secure but virtually unknown? Boy, it hurts to be grown. You gotta make the tough choice. I may not be as famous as my boy is. Super ain't as enjoyable as Cam Morgan is. It's far less rewarded. Would you rather give it all to your fans and your kids? Me, I choose the latter, cause that's really all that matters at the end of the day. Yeah, my music's dope, but I ain't finna send it to Drake. I ain't gon' send it to Puff. I send my stuff to Premiere. That's truly enough. That's what the fuck you wanna hear. I got those people out my ear, the ones I used to hold sacred. Fake as hell, trying to tell me how to quote unquote make it. Same fool dropping jewels, living in his mama's basement. There's been enough time wasted. I've been staying out.
Have you dropped Black Star and Gangstar?
Focusing on my family, focusing on my wealth.
You've dropped Black Star and Gangstar on this album so far?
But I can't let it hold me back.
Premiere and
staying out my own way. To myself, focusing on my family, focusing on my wealth. Keep my head above water and that bullshit I'm dealt.
Sorry.
I can't let it hold.
We'll rewind this. I'm just curious because you mentioned one of your lines was Black Star earlier. So wasn't it like?
I can't remember.
Black Star? I could have swore I heard Black Star, and then I heard Gangsta, and then I heard DJ.
I mean, in Old Man Strength, he always said grew up on Gangstar, but never had a Brooklyn address.
Yeah,
Gangstar,
right.
okay,
Gangstar,
Gangstar,
yep.
okay, and then
Yep.
Premier, fucking. So there's a
Yeah.
bit of development there.
No, I could have switched Black Star in there too.
I
Grew
think
up on
there was
Black
Black
Star,
Star
never
in
had a
there,
Brooklyn
dude.
address. They're from Brooklyn too. That's kind of
Yeah, I think that
Could have been.
you did. I think you did mention Black Star, and DJ Premier and Gangstar. So I don't know. I just kind of that popped out to me. Sorry, I'll rewind it, guys.
Yeah.
I just got really deep into that shit. Let's around a bit.
Focusing on my family, focusing on my wealth. Keep my head above water and the bullshit I'm dealt. But I can't let it hold me back. I've been staking out my own way, keep it to myself. Focusing on my family, focusing on my wealth. Keep my head above water and that bullshit I'm dealt. But I can't let it hold me back. Somebody said I shouldn't be independent. My pen is too dope. My self-worth is not dependent on this industry, folks. I used to care back in my 20s. Money was the main objective. Seeing friends acting funny, son, it changed my perspective. So it's all about the music from here. In the discussion. No, half the time I rap, the other half I do production. Truth of the matter, I ain't dropped shit in a couple years. And fools still rapping about absolutely nothing. What a time we live in. Crew said I stole from him with honest living. Boy, we didn't make enough to lease a fucking Honda Civic. Started questioning his motives, had to question his intent. To realize I'm fighting with somebody with no business sense. You know the type to think that everybody robbed him. 20 years ago, I used to have that same problem. Folks see you doing well, buying houses and buying cars, and start wondering if this new money, your mind is yours. Save the dramatics. A life-changing moment for me happened. What's that? Day I learned to make 6 figures without rapping. So the last thing that I depend on is music sales. This is part-time, but when I choose to do it, I do it well. Pour my soul into these songs. Sometimes I'm too detailed, but I'm honest. And I expect honesty to prevail. When situations get volatile, you gotta say to hell with it. When they try to slander your name, still send them well. I've been staking out my own way, keeping to myself. Focusing on my family, focusing on my wealth. Keep my head above water and that bullshit I'm dealt.
It's too hard. You gotta do
It's
something.
a way of desperation too. Like you got a job and you
Keeping to myself, focusing on my family, focusing on my wealth. Keep my head above water and that bullshit I'm dealt.
You know what I mean?
But I can't let it hold me back. I can't let it hold me back. I
And there is
can't let
that
it
moment
hold me back.
you make
I
that
can't
decision,
let it hold me back. I can't let it hold me back.
Like I said in the song, it's like I had to realize, like, do you want to be popular or do you just want to make money and just have
Yeah, exactly.
Really, you're gonna have to make a choice. For some people, you're gonna have to make a choice, right? It's like, all right, I got an opportunity to make money outside of music. So do I technically feel like I'm giving up my dreams? Because I think the biggest hoax in the music industry is people telling you like you can only do one thing. You can't work a job. You got to give 100% to your craft. And I always tell people when I was a full-time musician, I played video games all fucking day.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Before my wife got home, I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna start writing some stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no shit. Well, what I found with my band growing up is that there's just no way to make a living off of and especially when the internet started, dude. Like, because my band, we were a band right when the internet started, like 2099, when everybody started getting the internet, and then everyone did that, and we just got squashed.
Yeah.
You know, we got squashed by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we didn't adapt properly because I wasn't like using the internet till like 2006, I'd say. When I was like 24 years old. So and that's when I discovered like how to market my own music. And I went through exactly what you went through, where you're like, not as successful as you, but it is in your motives and your outlook on what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you don't even have to be successful.
Where it's like you want to make music the focus of everything because it's what you love the most. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you gotta fucking keep your head above water. You gotta you gotta have a job and pay the bills while you're trying to make it.
Right.
You know, and that experience kind of generates the music too. Very cool, man. Very transparent. Very very honest. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you know, it's funny actually. Earlier before the show started, Ignacio and I were talking, and he had asked if I knew a lot about your background, and I was like, man, just listen to the tracks; it's all there.
Yeah,
like,
I'll lay it all out for you, man.
Yeah,
that's why I say I believe in honesty and transparency, man. You know, and I think that's, to me, I think that was one of my biggest problems earlier, was that I was trying to sell Supastition, the persona. You know what I mean? And like I told someone recently, I even had a rap voice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what up, like, yo, like, it's just, I don't have time to be two people, right? It's you know, who I am in my music is damn near who I am at home. When people I go to work, I'm still the same person. And I think now people can relate to it because they can relate more to me as a person than they probably could to me as with a rap persona or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People know when you're honest. People know when you're honest.
Yeah. They do. And I think this track in particular, I think what I really like about it is, you know, it kind of highlights that, that as you get older, you know, what your life goals are, those shift, you know, what you think you wanted may not be what you want. And, you know, I think when you said, you know, this idea of giving up on your dream, is that what you're doing? Well, is that what your dream is anymore? You know?
Yeah, is that the dream? Is that the dream?
Right.
Now?
You know, I mean, your priorities shift and, you know, like it's
change.
This is grown adult shit here. It's
Because when you're in your 20s, like, and it's not even just with music. When you're 20s, you feel like, look, all right, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You get to your 30s, you're like, shit, I didn't do that. Well, maybe I still got time. You get to your 40s, you're like, fuck, all right.
Fuck, yeah.
I don't have the energy or the time. So it's like, I've got to accept the new reality of what this shit is, and I've got to work towards new goals or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, but you can still find a way to kind of satiate that desire, though.
Definitely.
You know, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, maybe I don't have to give up on music, but you know, that doesn't necessarily have to be my life goal now because I have other life goals, but I can still find a way to do that.
Right. Yeah, you define your own success, man. It's not like, you know, like, and that's one of the toughest things that early in my career I suffered from depression, and a lot of that shit had to do with people telling me you're talented, you could be this, you could be that. It's not what I wanted. I just wanted to be dope. I just wanted to make music, but they're like, you could be bigger than that guy. And then I'd go and set out to be as big as that guy and fail. And then I would overlook all of the shit that I actually accomplished. Right. Like I walked away temporarily from the music industry in like 2009. I was depressed as fuck. I felt like I didn't do anything. I didn't accomplish anything. And then I sat back and looked at all the seeds I planted and all the things that I've done. I was like, the fuck was I thinking? Like I was living for the wrong people. You know what I mean? I had the wrong people in my ear. I'm like, I've accomplished way more than damn near anybody that I grew up with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in my state at that time, you know?
Wow. And that's why Bandcamp, dude. Bandcamp is like my diary.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, Wilkshake.bandcamp.com, that is my diary. If you want to know who I am, there's 20 years of music there, right? Yeah. 19 or 20 albums, you know, of all my, just basically everything that I've done.
These audio books over beats, man. You know what I mean?
Exactly, dude. It's amazing, dude. It's amazing. We should do a track together sometime.
Hey, let me know, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'd love to get on that. Imagine that. I should get back into hip hop, man. I should start making hip hop again. It's been 4 years since I made an album. It's this kind of music that makes me want. It inspires me to rap, right? It inspires me to write.
Right. I'm not wearing kid gloves. Just know that. So I was telling anybody to get on song with me, like, you better bring it.
Yeah, that's right. I hear you. Oh, dude, dope.
You've had a couple of
every sense of the word.
One Below too, haven't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He was on the show. He was on the show. He was on the show too, man.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, God, man.
We listened to his the album. What was it called again, Chuck?
The Being a Black Youth.
Yeah, Being a Black Youth.
Yeah, Being a Black
Youth. Yeah, I think that was the Baby album. I think I was on that one too.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, you were on that one.
Gray, I think Fonte and some other people.
That's the first time I heard you.
Yeah, man. Yep. And we did that track. Man, we did a track a long time ago. Yeah, that was a dope album.
I think I sent the first Supastition track I sent to you guys. That maybe you first one you heard was Fountain of Youth.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was from a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
The roots go deep. It's funny how, you know, and there is this network. Everyone knows each other. You know, I've gotten into the underground hip hop scene, you know, and everyone knows each other, right?
I tend to think that it has to deal with the type of hip hop that we've gravitated towards on this channel, and just as a collective here, we've really gravitated towards a specific subset of hip hop and a specific group of individuals that have a particular not necessarily sound, but particular groove that we gravitate towards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it just you, One Below, Collective. I mean, you guys all fall into that.
All into it, yeah.
Exactly. You guys all fall into our target, like what we're looking for. You know,
right?
Yeah.
Like you, Supastition, is what we are looking for on this channel. This is what this channel is all about. Right?
Yeah, appreciate that, man.
Is finding
music alongside
like
those guys, man, because they're all dope too, man.
Oh yeah, they are all dope.
Yeah.
They are all dope, and really nice guys too.
Definitely.
We had just like we're doing here. Just had wicked conversations and wicked input on the music, and you know it was a good time.
Yeah.
So indeed, it is a good group. This is called Scatterbrain. This is the one that I was going to pick for tonight.
Yeah.
If you didn't come on, we weren't going to do when we weren't going to do the whole EP. I didn't know if you were coming on. Okay. This was this is the one we were going to do.
Okay.
If you weren't on the show, so I'm excited to hear this.
So now this track though, did you put at least a shorter version of this? You put out what, 6 months ago?
Yeah, like I did. I so back around that time. That's when I was really like still trying to get my lungs back and stuff like that. So I started doing these IG freestyles and stuff.
Yeah,
Scatterbrain was one of them that I put out, and the response was really dope. And so I was like, damn, I was kind of on the fence. Do I put it on this project because people have heard it? Then I felt like, well, all the other songs are emotional. But I was like, you know what? It makes sense to be on this because during the song, I start talking about like, don't lower my coffin yet. I'm not done yet with this music thing or whatever. So it all makes sense in the end. But Scatterbrain is just, I always wanted a track just like, to be on like some Pharaoh Monch shit, just flipping different styles, different subjects. Like how many styles can you flip in a song or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying?
How many angles? Yeah,
exactly.
How many angles could you take?
And one of the things I try to do is you've got people that rap a lot of words and a lot of patterns, and it sounds forced. I try to make mine kind of feel effortless when you listen to it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, that's definitely happening. That's definitely the case. Oh shit! Did I just close the window? No. Okay, we're good. Holy fuck!
Gotta do it live.
Holy fuck!
Gotta do it live.
Talk about Scatterbrain. Talk about Scatterbrain. Like as we're in the show, I'm like, you're talking to me. My mind's just going like.
You got Scatterbrain.
Well, dude, I got schizophrenia. I got schizophrenia, dude. I know. I got depression. You know, I take a strong antipsychotic. I take a strong antidepressant. You know, like I've been down that road. It sounds like we had similar paths. Like the trials and tribunes of trying to make it as a musician and trying to really make a name for ourselves.
Yeah, look, I've had my doses of medicine too.
Yeah, exactly. But you gotta, right? But now, if you submit to that reliance,
right,
and you realize what a doctor can do for you.
Yeah, indeed, man. Yeah, like I've never been a guy like. Fuck that! I'm never taking medicine. Like,
no, yeah, fuck that.
Dude, if you got some, especially when it's mental shit, because I used to hate the bad days or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck, I ain't taking no medicine. Let me drink 6 Pepsi Colas. Like,
yeah, exactly. No, dude. It took me a while to submit to the advice from doctors because both my best friends, my guitar player and my drummer from my high school band, are both general practitioners.
Oh wow,
they're both family doctors. So they've been a fantastic resource. Yeah. But they kind of always but I was kind of like, I don't want to say the leader. I was the lead singer, but I was like kind of like the most crazy, the most impulsive. Impulsive is the word.
Yeah, impulsive.
I was the most impulsive of them. Impulsivity is my enemy, right? It always has been. But now I got that shit under control now. But that, I was like, I'd just go. I'd try. You want to go to Calgary? Sure, let's go. Hop in a car and drive 40 hours to Calgary.
That tracks.
That's what I was, because I used to just say I'm a risk taker. You know what I'm saying? Like I would just, I remember when I moved out of my parents' house, I didn't tell them anything. I literally just packed a bag up and left. Like what are you doing? Like I'm moving to Charlotte, North Carolina. Who do you know there? I'm like, I know one person, and then I'm just out. Like, so I was welcome too. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
That's the way to do it. Scatterbrain.
Go.
Meh. Ça la vie. Scatterbrain, let's do it.
Scatterbrain.
Scatterbrain, the subject matter and patterns change. I return like the batarang. Bruce Wayne reference for those of you who need that explained. The longer waited like Rakim battling Daddy Kane. Eye for eye cut. Piece to J side nod. The Static King, what up though? Before we had a name, that was my brother, yo. Back on my bullshit like an unemployed matador. That boy, if I see red, then nothing matters. Mad enough to shatter jaws. I have the oversurges working and straighten it out like Lattimore. I'm in a different category of bad boys, and my total body counts around 112. You hear me, Slim? I'm Lex Luger flexing, I ain't step foot near a gym. You don't need to be a diamond miner just to hear a gym. This is Black Opal. The truth is gonna sting like isopropyl, just as sure as Tupac with stacked vocals. I'ma murder these drums like Max Roach do. They label me too old school. They might respect the word plague and hunger. Still, they wish the shit was done by someone 20 years younger. But my gloves I never hung up. Why they hung up on the age limit? Finally found a fountain of youth. Nowadays I bathe in it. See y'all taste the ounce of the truth and get acid reflux. No fear, I got God back and we up. Brought balls back, now we up. My business had to get it in order. My career was a Dexter victim, left dead in the water with no supporters. I went from rap culture wanting to work with me to a feeling of doom with two black vultures circling me. Whoa, don't look on my coffin, yeah, the more deserving the boss respect. My name should be enormous, but I've been performing for these narcoleptics, skeptics, cynics, doubters, critics, and infidels. Middle class folks who only listen to felons who live in prison cells. You know the guys with the Pyrex, flying private jets and speaking millionaire dialect. The truth of the matter is half of them probably dying dead. Flashy individuals hiding shit from the IRS, but I am just the polar opposite of glitz and glamour. That shit just don't fit me like my kids' pajamas. I'll be North Carolina's illest till I gracefully bow out of it. This rap thing is blood in, blood out, like dialysis. And I ain't really here to promote nothing this week. I was just bugging to this beat, trying to show you what true talent is. Scatterbrain.
That was a dad bar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My kids' pajamas. I'm looking at them walking like 2 months ago on their highway.
Yeah.
Dad bars all day.
If you know, you know.
Exactly.
But
You
this whole closing beat is not on what you put out a couple months ago.
Right. Yeah. I went back and 'cause I
Man, I ain't gonna hold you.
made the beat and jumped on Instagram and rhymed over it. Then I was like, damn, people loved it. I was like, let me go back and retweak the beat and stuff like that. So I actually finished up the beat. So
Nice.
you know,
So
it's one of the things you throw
nice,
out
we got
there.
a bit of an instrumental here.
Yeah, that's just an interlude of me just
Yeah.
talking about what I was going through and stuff like that.
Right
too.
on, let's do it.
Yeah.
These past couple years been hard as fuck, man. Like, you know, I got sick for like a year, you know, with COVID and shit. I couldn't rap. That shit was weighing on me. As soon as I get back healthy again, of course, niggas just bombard you like, yo. I'm like, fam, I ain't even heard from you. You know what I mean? Then, you know, spend my whole life not even knowing like my real father. Then he reappears and dies a week later. You know what I'm saying? I
Jesus.
lost one of my closest homies. It was
a hell of a
bro,
year.
I can't tell you how much death has been surrounding me. And it started to weigh on me. You know what I'm saying? It's like losing a close homie. And you can't even really expect the rest of these people to understand. Because these niggas don't even know how to deal with their emotions. So what they gonna do with your problems, you know? That shit just started breaking me down, man. I wasn't myself. I said, fuck music, fuck everything. By the grace of God, I'm still here. I've changed a lot because I've been through a lot. And I mean every last word that I'm saying.
You know what's crazy, man, is that I actually worked with an MC from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Mark Dees. You know him?
Mark Dees, I feel like I heard his name before.
Grindhouse Gang.
I think
Powder,
so. Yeah.
Powder,
think so.
Dr. Ill.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I worked with those guys. I made music with those guys a while back, and I hadn't talked to Mark Dees for about 6 years, and he came and he asked me for money, like after not talking to me for like 6 years, and I was like, I got really pissed off at him, and I told him off, and then we ended up talking a little while later. And I realized, like, dude, if he's asking me for money, he must have some serious shit going on.
Right.
I should reach out and apologize and tell him, yo, dude, I'm sorry I gave you shit. You know, everyone has their own life, you know, like I have my own struggles. And what I realize is that there is this selfishness in struggle, you know, where you just do it by yourself and you rely on yourself to get through it independently. And that's the worst way to deal with struggle. Like, you really should resource everything that you can when you're struggling, because that is the only way to do things. And I realize a friend is a friend, and even if they're not a close friend, keep the ones that have always been friendly to you close. Never purposefully hurt anybody. You know, it's just not. Always try and make the situation more calm and peaceful. Like that's the best way to live. It really is the best way to live.
I agree with you in a sense, right? So, this is I'm a contrarian, right? Because music entertainment is, it seems like it has different rules than any other thing. Like, so, like for music, I could not speak to someone for 10 years. They could literally email me and be like, hey, I need a verse from you. I'm like, where the fuck have you been for 10 years, right? So,
okay, yeah.
Do it. Now, real life, I ain't spoke to a homeboy in 10 years. He shows up like, hey, man, I need to borrow some money. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dog. I was like, where have you been? So it's like, like this music industry is one of the few places where you can kind of come in and ask people for things, but it's like, it's also real life. Like you have to at least pretend to be interested in my well-being before you ask me for something or find out what I'm going through or whatever.
And that's kind of that's why I got so pissed off, you know? Yeah. And I guess I just... And then I just realized, like, fuck, man, it's just not worth it. I just don't like being pissed off.
Yeah, I had somebody recently, like I hadn't spoken to him in a couple of years, and they came and it's like, I need like $1,000.
No shit.
Whoa, man, like $1,000?
That's a lot of money.
Let Instagram fool you. $1 per follower? What the fuck is this?
Yeah. $1 per follower. That's crazy, hilarious. Man. Well, that was Scatterbrain, everybody. This is Temple of Hip Hop. I didn't do any commercials. I figured, what the fuck am I going to do commercials for?
Hey, man, shout out to Temple of Hip Hop, man. I love what you guys do, man. You know why I came on the show? Because you guys look like you had fucking fun. Right?
Yeah, dude. That's what it's all about. Tuesday nights are the best night of the week, dude.
I'm telling you, man. I would rather be here sitting here talking to you guys, some cool ass dudes, rather than some guy like, so what was it like to work with KRS-One? Right, like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, KRS-One has his Temple of Hip Hop. He has a university called Temple of Hip Hop.
Exactly. Yeah,
KRS-One is a big influence on this channel. Like we when we were planning the show, because my one channel got canceled, we're like, we got to make a new show so we can still do the live show. When we were planning it, Chuck and a couple other people let us know that, you know, KRS-One has this channel called Temple of Hip Hop, and it's like hip hop education.
So when I first heard it, I wasn't sure if it was affiliated at first.
No, not at all. Not at all. And then we realized, like, should we change it? We're just kind of like, you know what? I think we're doing him service.
Right. Exactly.
By finding hip hop like this. And exposing it to maybe just one more person. Maybe one person hears it and they think, I'm down with this.
Right.
Job well done for us.
Oh, well,
right?
people see the name and they know exactly what you stand for. So, I mean.
Exactly, right? And you know, like one guy on Instagram recently tagged one of our posts with KRS-One in it. And I'm just like, are you okay? Well, maybe KRS-One saw it then. Obviously, KRS-One is probably, like, you know, at least he knows it exists. Yeah. And he hasn't came to me and said, like, hey, I don't think KRS-One is going to be the kind of guy, the tranquil, enlightened, wise man that he is. I don't think he's going to kind of be like, hey, man, fuck your channel, dude. You got to take that shit down. I don't think he's going to focus.
You are not hip-hop.
Yeah, exactly.
This belongs to the team.
Yeah. Oh, KRS-One. Shout out to KRS-One. Wow.
Shout out to KRS-One, man.
Wow. What an honor it is to watch him speak.
Indeed, man.
Yeah. Okay, next we got Closure. This is it.
This wraps it up.
Everybody, Supastition. Every last word.
My fucking theme song, man.
This is it.
By now you should know my rep. Highly skilled, poorly promoted, I got no regrets. Ain't been perfect,
I know you're right now.
Deserving of some more respect. Similar to Boba Fett. Salute me with the same type of honors that a soldier gets. You know how many shows I wrecked since I started dubbing over grandmama's old cassettes. Boy, she was so upset and threw a fit. I made it though. Not by the modern day standard set by the radio. Know that I'm a legend, goddammit, that ain't debatable. Don't care for majors, all I care about is major growth. Yeah, I might have made some dough, but that doesn't define me. I'm finally in a place where I'm comfortable. Not the type of brother that drop an album every month or two. I need time to live. Not really just spending time with my kids. You know, just minding my biz, but for certain, on that day it plays out of your mind of tears. Yo, I promise it's gonna be another solid work of art. While the rest are working hard, I'm working smart. Cause my rap life and real life are two worlds apart. Sometimes I need convincing. Why work a whole year for just 2 weeks of attention? A few tweets and a mention, that's beyond my comprehension. Music ain't my 9 to 5 no more, it's only an extension. Blame me, blame yourself, blame the world. No more victim mentalities, the different shit that I'm battling nowadays is my own anxiety. Mixed with reality, that's important to know. There ain't no market out there for pouring this soul out to some 40-year-olds. What I watered it grows, what I planted it blossom. Used to think the world was sleeping on me, they was playing possum. Moving forward, man. Screw the haters, only cater to my core fans, family. My understanding's more advanced. I put forth the effort. I won't be making music forever together. I think it's time we accept it. It's time to move forward, man. For real. It's time to move forward, man.
It's all about the kids now, man.
Yeah, that's a message to my listeners and supporters. Like, you better fucking support this shit now, because one day I might not decide to do another. Like, it ain't gonna be no announcement. I'm just going to stop. Like,
yeah,
absolutely.
But yeah, that's one of my favorite songs off the album, man. And that's one of the few songs where
we got to give some applause.
Oh, thank you.
We got to give some applause, dude. Like, what a I just love how honest it is. It's just rewarding for me, because this, like, when we started this podcast, this was the goal. Right. It's like I feel like, oh, I lost a big channel of 15,000 people, but now I have this little channel that's so much more pure, and it's so much more satisfying.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
That's why I said, screw the haters, man. I only rap for my core fans. Like, it's cool if I pick up new fans, but I'm not going for Lil Wayne's fans or Jay-Z's fans or Migos' fans. Like, I got my core group of people, and like we talked about, it's our type of hip hop, and that's what I'm feeding to. Like, I know these people want to hear it.
I'm a fan. I think it's I've probably only known, it's just funny how it works. I've probably only known your name for what, Chuck? 6 months?
Yeah.
Probably a year and a half.
Yeah.
About a
year and a half.
My first
when I was
deep dive,
sending stuff through.
My first deep dive, you're on the fucking show with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for some context,
Chuck's a one-man street team for me, man.
Dude. Yeah. Okay, dude. Chuck has made every live show, One Below, collective efforts. He has made every single show happen.
Bruh.
It's all him. It's all him.
Like, who the fuck is Chuck?
Yeah,
we're watching these live streams, and people don't know. Like, I like to watch live streams and shit. I watch Twitch and all type of shit. And it was like, yo, shout out to Chuck. I'm like, who the fuck is Chuck? Like,
Chuck is
Charlie from Charlie's Angels. Like, I've never seen his face, but he has all these assignments. Like, you're playing Old Man Script this week. That's what the fuck you're doing.
Chuck loves hip hop. Chuck loves hip hop. We love hip hop. Dude, that was pure fire. The best kind of hip hop that I have ever known.
Appreciate it, man.
Dude, like, I don't know. We got some tracks from some fans, or from some listeners, rather, coming up for the second part of the show. Do you want to stick around and listen to some hip hop with us?
I got to roll. I'm at 12 o'clock right now. I'm a working man. I got to be up.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna second that, but.
Okay, cool. Well, me and Ignacio are gonna do part 2. Superstition, dude. It was a pleasure.
It's a pleasure. Anytime you guys want me back, man, like, shit, I feel like I want to be back now, man. You guys.
You can come on every week, any Tuesday you want. I'll send you the links on Instagram.
Yeah,
all right, I'm gonna make a
anytime you're free, man.
All we do is listen to fantastic hip hop all night, dude.
No, indeed, man. It's my kind of shit, man.
Yeah, but it was a pleasure to meet you. I'm really I'm honored that I got to. So
hey, thank you. Definitely, y'all send me your information and too. We'll stay in touch and all that too, man. Y'all cool as fuck, man.
Right on, man. Thanks for being here. So Ignacio, I'm going to put some commercials on, then we'll get into part 2. Take a pee,
got it.
Get a drink, go for a smoke, whatever you do. And Superstition, it was an honor, man. We'll see you soon.
All right, y'all be safe, brothers. Peace.
Later, brother.
Peace. All right, Chuck. Take care, man. Thanks for making this happen, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's such a cool dude.
I know, dude. He's right,
awesome,
dude. That's what I'm saying. We're attracting the right people for what the cause is of this channel. You gotta have a cause. You know, The cause is finding good hip hop, and that is exactly what we're trying to do. Chuck, you are such a good part of the team, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
I do what I can, man. All right, well, I'll
awesome.
catch you later, and
right.
I got work in the morning, so.
All right, peace out. Okay, Ignacio, I will put on some commercials, and then I'm just going to take a whiz, and then we'll get a part 2. I think we got 4 or 5 more tracks.
All right, Captain.
Cheers, bro. Welcome to Temple of Hip Hop. For the heads, by the heads. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and invite your friends if they like hip hop. If they don't like hip hop, they're not welcome here. This is hip hop. For the heads, by the heads.
Yo!
Welcome to Temple of Hip Hop. For the heads, by the heads. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and invite your friends if they like hip hop. If they don't like hip hop, they're not welcome here. This is hip hop. For the heads, by the heads.
Yo!
Okay. Well, that was a treat. Hey?
Oh, yeah, man.
That was a fucking treat. Wow.
If you're just joining us and you haven't had a chance to see the first hour.
Yeah, you can, while we're live, you can rewind it and watch the first hour and watch this second hour later because it's hard to top that, to be honest.
Man.
But we got tracks from Presto. We got tracks from Nico.
Nice,
I think someone else even sent me one, but we'll get to that when I got a track listing. So let me just scroll up in this chat. I didn't read the